Hello, this is John with Theology Ed. All right, this is going to be part, 56 of the IPETGO 2 Explained series, but it's more of just an observation on the news and an application of symbolism in IPETGO 2. However, since we have so many new people coming to the channel recently, I'm going to do a little review of a section. But first, I'm going to look at this Wall Street Journal article. Headline, Ukraine's Zelensky sets conditions for genuine peace talks with Russia. The president says he is open to negotiations that guarantee his country's territorial integrity. So genuine peace talks and apparently new pressure from Western backers is forcing Zelensky, allegedly in the news, to be, arriving at a peace agreement, or at least trying to negotiate peace with Russia. This, of course, sounds unlikely if you've been following the news, and, here it says there are scant prospects of imminent peace talks as both sides still believe they can win the war. Today is November 8th, 2022, and that is the date of the article, so this is fresh news. And as you can tell here at this point, it's still viewed even by, the Wall Street Journal and apparently experts, that it's unlikely that we're close to some sort of peace agreement, since both sides seem optimistic about their chances of victory. However, now I'm going to go ahead and just look at something that we see in IPETGO 2 that we've been looking at for over a year, almost 2 years. I think I first published a video on the topic of the dancer in IPETGO 2, the Keeper of the Flame dancer, and explained how it goes all the way to 2024. I think it was at the end of 2000. I don't remember when it was, but it was a long time ago, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to review the scene that leads up to it, and then I'm going to talk about what we were talking about, which was the bear dance, which long before we got into the middle of 2022 and saw the bear dance come to fulfillment, be fulfilled with the Russian bear activity at the same time as the bear market, interestingly, right? Because we were talking about those two possibilities. The bear loses its claws, and we talked about that a lot as well, that somehow the bear loses its claws. I assumed in the past that it would be when the bear was defeated in some way, shape, or form, or overcome. Now, here's the dance. Let's go to that dance scene. So we're going to get to the end of the classroom calendar. I'll review that for you in a second. You know what? Why don't I do the classroom calendar first? Because if we don't, people won't understand what's going on in the dance scene. So here is we're in the actual Heliofont channel version of the videos, which does not have an introduction that messes everything up by 3 seconds. So the actual time is the original time when things are happening. So here we are. We're watching Harpocrates, looking like a whirling dervish, but Harpocrates, who is the child Horus, resurrected. And he comes up, and we are in the perspective of the sun. Harpocrates, this child spinning here, is in the position of the earth, of course. They're representing it in the according to the contemporary scientific model of the solar system, right? So the Earth is a rotating body here, and we're in the position of the sun, and what we're looking at is an eclipse. That eclipse, if you look at the shading of the moon, go ahead and look it up on any images, you'll see the shading of the moon here is representing a penumbral eclipse. This penumbral eclipse happened in November, at the end of November, in 2020. Now, we already had an IPETGO 2, the 2020 calendar in the classroom, right here, right? So we had the 2020 calendar here. But where's the 2021 calendar? We get all the way up to this headshot in December of 2020 with the death flower or whatever, and then we go, do we have a clear calendar for 2021? And it turns out we do. And that's where we are right here. When we go up, we get this eclipse. This is at the end of November 2020, and right away move into December of 2020. December of 2020 through December of 2021, and each rotation of the Harpocrates character is going to cover 1/3 of the 12-month period, or 4-month period of time. And right away in December, notice we've already, in the previous videos, if you look at part 55 of the IPETGO Explained series, and then all the way back far earlier in the series, but that one's the most recent when I mentioned it, this is the Mark of the Beast symbol, and right away in December of 2022, we get their Mark of the Beast. Whether that's the biblical Mark of the Beast is irrelevant for this discussion. We're looking at what their intentions are. They come from the perspective of Thelema, and the Thelemites have a Mark of the Beast ritual, and this is some of the quote-unquote magic that they believe they're performing in this video. Okay, it's a type of theatrical magic to get participants, get people to participate who are not a part of their organization. So watch, we go through, and we're going to get a cross over the Mark of the Beast right away at the beginning. Okay, now this is 2021. The calendar we're looking at goes around, we're moving, and remember, we're the position of the sun. Right now, what would we be? This is, if we're the position of the sun, and there's the reflection of the moon back there, we're getting a second representation of another eclipse. This time, a lunar eclipse where the Earth would be casting its shadow on the moon, and because we're the sun position. And when is that? And the timestamp, 5/26. That is the date of the lunar eclipse in 2021. It was May 26th. Now here is an 8. As we pass over here, we're going to get to the 8 that is in the August position. If you time it, it's going to go right here to the 8. Now we cross August. Okay, now we have August, and we're going to go all the way to the what position? Watch right here. Boom. Now we get a solar eclipse, right? Because this object is now going to be functioning as the moon, because we're the position of the sun, and something is between the sun and the Earth, so that the Earth is unable to see the sun. If Harpocrates was looking at us, he couldn't see us. He'd just see this black object shading it. That's the eclipse. That is the December 4th, 2021 solar eclipse. That's climactic in the list of eclipses. Not because all the climactic events happen immediately after it, but in ritual magic in Thelema, Crowley is very clear about it. At the climax of the ritual, you have an impromptu dance. That's what we're going to see in the very next scene. We're going to go into the dance scene where the dancer, the keeper of the flame, dances in ways that look erratic, unusual, sort of impromptu, chaotic by the end. Okay, and we're going to enter into that. Now, what that means is we have arrived at December of 2021 here. Where would 2022 be? Well, we're going to see it in the dancer's moves, in his rotations. What's going to happen is it's going to continue with the 4-month period rotations. See, if we go back, you can count his spins. Here. He's going to come out of this eclipse position. That's the end of November. Then we go right into December of 2020. Okay, and let's get this count the spins. Oh, okay. So we go around. I've lost position. Where is it? Like one time there. Okay, it's going to go around. And at August, we get the second one. Second time. And then we're going to go all the way around. And we're going to get right to the end. 3 full times. Okay, there it was. So here we're going to get 4 months per rotation. Okay, and we're going to use that in the next scene because the dancer is going to rotate occasionally, and each time he rotates, it's representing a different type of event or series of events that happen during that rotation, during that 4-month period of time, from December of 2022 all the way it takes us into 2024. Now, and we were able to make predictions based off this, including the go sign for NATO when NATO started to make its move. We also were able to go the NATO I think I talked about after, but we also were, like I've already said, we talked about Russia / bear markets. If you look here, and you can look into 2023. When I say predictions, think of these as like forecasts, not like hard and fast. It's gonna be, because I don't know the future. Nobody does, so I don't even pretend to make a strong prediction like that. But I make sort of, it looks like that's what they're communicating, observations. Now here, after this, interestingly, if you look over here, we get our La Palma slide. Okay, it's a metaphor. What is the La Palma predictive programming actually pointing to? As far as I can tell, it was pointing to a monkeypox outbreak, which will continue to spread, not be completely controlled, and be used to bring in the smallpox vaccine, and that it would happen. This began in May of 2022 with the May eclipse. And remember the tabletop exercise and everything that talked about monkeypox starting then. Interestingly, the monkeypox outbreak, which is affecting especially the gay male community, the way they've been putting in the news, the men who have sex with men. Okay, that one of the starting points of that was a super spreader event in the Canary Islands, and that's where we got our origins. That's like the wave coming out of the Canary Islands, like La Palma. And then we go around and we actually have, when? At the 11th position, by the 11th month, the next eclipse, here you have the volcano with the lack of land. It's erupted already and the wave is now going out. Okay, now we're post eruption tsunami, right? The tsunami has come. All right, there is your period of monkeypox from May to November, and notice you have the 11 again. So it's very interesting. If you were to count these, bar these out, you can go from December, January, February, March, something like. You're going to get May here. You're going to have to organize it to where you get May there, and then keep that pace. And you should be around 11 here, I guess. So if I were to take 11 to 0, so this would be a 12-month period from here to about right there, you might get it. And that might be what these points are actually helping us with. So if I were to go right there, if I go through, I wish I could just draw a picture of it. If I were to go from our tower point, draw a straight line to there, and then just continue it, I do get to right about 12. Or 11 or 12, right? Now, if I go back here and I go to this one, maybe that's if I go actually straight. It's really hard with the mouse. Okay, however it goes, if we trace these, we may actually get our month divisions and be able to follow back and get our 12-month period here. But anyways, point being, I think what we're getting at is an 11 here to indicate our 11th month possibly. And that would be why, and for example, turning red, you get the beginning of that pandemic, the panda, the new panda, the little panda in the first eclipse, and it has until the next eclipse to be completed or become permanent. And that was from May to November, and there's our period, and we get it. Now, I do think it's also interesting, if you look closely, it does look like an 11, and then next to it, you see a lighter, not as brightly lit 11, possibly, and you also may get an 11 there. I'm not sure if that's important or not. In us, the predictive programming there, we have a lot of 11s. But anyways, point being, we have a 12-month period of 2021. That's why I call it the 2021 city calendar. And we arrive here at this eclipse, and immediately we're going to go into the climactic dance. All this part here, by the way, was just a footnote, something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And I guess this time I'll just mention it since I'm talking about it. I'm in the scene. But we go straight from here, watch, directly into the climactic dance. Remember, Thelema has an impromptu dance at the climax of the ritual. And boom, there it is. We're going right into the dancer. Now he's going to go right into the fire. That's a NATO symbol on his shirt. And he is going to get ready to do a aircraft carrier go sign. He's going to go here and go. There we are. So now we got the go. That's why in 2022, the first period of 2022, between December of 2021 and March of 2022, was when NATO went. That was in February with the NATO provocation of Russia and the Russia invasion of Ukraine, which happened on February 24th, 2022, at the beginning of the year of the tiger. Just when Skullduggery grabbed her shoulder, the girl's shoulder, turned her around, she had the tiger on the back. That was after the pause, which had the second diamond eclipse, the diamond ring effect in the ring. That's okay. On it, that was a representation of an eclipse, and his hands were making the movement of an archer in Sagittarius. So it's the Sagittarius eclipse shot. Okay, that happened then. He moved from preparation to actual attack after that in the year of the tiger, and that's why he grabbed the shoulder of the girl with the tiger on it. And here we get the green light, go. That was in February of 2022, and that is in the first 4-month period after that December 4th, 2021 eclipse. Now he's going to go, and we're going to get a wave dance. We're going to start the wave, and we're going to go into waves here. So the waves are going to come up out of the ground, and this is things continue moving. This is also the period now when you get the beginning of the monkeypox outbreak. You also have a lot of other outbreaks. Remember, this is when health problems started to come up in the news all the time. We've got monkeypox is just the biggest one that got most attention, but polio is being talked about. There's some hepatitis outbreak. We've had all these unexplained deaths and lots of other things. So we get wave upon wave upon wave is starting here, but he's not dancing around crazy yet. This is slow and steady, and he's building. Then after those 3 months or 4 months, we end up in August. This is where you get Russia becoming, I think, more aggressive is the idea. And in fact, in that period from August to December so far, we have seen Russia step up the attacks. They've increased the aggressive aggression in their attacks. So watch, we're going to see him go around. He's got his claws. Now claws are indication if you got a bear lifting its claws up and ready to go, you think he's about to attack. Now watch this dance, because this is what we're going to talk about now with this Wall Street Journal article. He goes back. The bear's doing all this scary stuff. I went back. So now he's getting his claws. Now we've entered August to December. Okay, beginning of August to very beginning of December. So end of November. Here he's got his claws, and he's getting ready to go. But watch the direction of his dance. He goes forward, but then he backed up. He backs up. It's like a retreat. And then the claws come off. The dance move here is a retreat at the end of this 4-month period, if that's interpreted correctly. And it may not be a retreat. At first I thought maybe it was preparation for an actual major strike, because he jumps up like he's going to pounce. So he jumps up. That could be like a pounce. But look, the direction he jumps. Let me go back just a hair so we can see it. The direction he jumps is backwards like a retreat, and at the same time his claws come off like he's backing off on the fight. There he went. And then he goes in, but he keeps the bear mask on, so we still have bear activity, but the claws are off, and then the mask is off, and now we're in 2023. Okay, we've moved into 2023, I believe, April. No, the period is actually December, January, February, March. So I'm sorry, April to August is the second period every year. But now we're in April of 2023, and we get the death mask like a plague. Okay, watch, he's going to jump up, and there it is, and he gets a 23, and you have a 9 here. So maybe, I don't know what the significance of the 9 is in that context. But we have the plague mask, and then once that plague takes off, he goes nuts. The world's falling to pieces, things are breaking, the Tower of Freedom, the Keeper of the Flame is dancing like crazy, and he just keeps spinning. The world has become a total mess of catastrophe after catastrophe, I imagine. And then he ends. So, okay. Now, so my focus here, going back to this article, is maybe we need to watch for the possibility that Putin allegedly takes up Ukraine's Zelensky on these negotiations and actually backs off, as though he's accomplished what he needed to. And people will be surprised and think, boy, I thought we were going to have full World War III already. And it just stopped. Because what we have here is, I think, I'm not positive. I'm not positive. But I think it does look to me like a retreat jump. And the claws come off. And that seems like the bear just gradually backs off until the mask is off, and then we go into plague. Okay, so that's one possible theory and explanation, and there you have it. You can take a look and see what you think, and let me know what you think in the comments. All right, like, subscribe, share, spread the word. Take care. Bye-bye.